Today I'm going to talk about one of the most common problems that I notice when my students and I are having conversations. It is the correct way to use me too. But it also is how to use other forms that native speakers use when we talk to each other. For example, neither do I do too, I don't either, so am I, etc. So let's look at an example to start, and then I'll go through the different forms that you need to know. For example, you are going to be free this whole weekend and you want to hang out with your friend. So you text your friend and you say, "Are you free this Saturday?" And she answers, "Yes, I am free all day." So how do you answer? Well, you can answer "me too." You can also answer "so am I," and you can answer "I am too." What if you ask this? "Are you busy this weekend?" And your friend says, "No, I'm not." How do you answer? Well, a lot of English learners will answer here "me too," meaning I also am not busy. But we don't agree with a negative sentence with "me too." The correct way to answer here would be "me neither," or "neither am I," or "I am not either." So let's see the rules for how to answer both affirmative and negative sentences. So first of all, if you are talking about an affirmative sentence, that's a sentence that does not have a negative verb, then you have three options to answer. You can answer "me too," or you can answer one of these two short answer sentences. For example, "I am hungry," "me too," or "so am I," or "I am too." So you know how to use "me too." For the next one, "so am I." So has the same meaning as "to" here, but we put the "so" at the beginning of the sentence, and then we use the helping verb. Now, what was the original sentence? "I am hungry." So the helping verb is "I am." So we're going to say "so am I." We also have to flip the order of the subject and verb here. So we don't say "so I am," we say "so am I." Now, if that's hard for you to remember, you don't need to use it in conversation, but you should know that native speakers use it all the time. So you need to know it so that you can understand people. How about the last one? "I am too." So you understand what this is. We're using "to," but instead of saying "me too," we use the subject and the helping verb, "I am too." All right, let's look at a negative example. If your friend says a negative sentence and you want to agree with that negative sentence, we don't use "me too." We don't use "me too" to agree with negative sentences. We use "me neither." So for example, your friend says, "I am not hungry now." And you can answer, "Me neither. I'm not hungry now." Me neither. But there are two short answer sentences that we can use. So just like the affirmative sentence, when we said "so am I," the negative will be "neither am I." That means I also am not. Or we can use a short sentence like this: "I am not either." Now this is a little bit tricky because instead of using neither, we use either. Why? Because the sentence already has a negative verb. So we don't say "I am not neither," we say "I am not either." Because if we use "not" and "neither," that would be what's called a double negative. And in English, double negatives are not correct. So let's try another example of the negative. "I don't like hot dogs." So let's pretend that you don't like hot dogs. So if I say "I don't like hot dogs," you're going to answer "me neither," or "neither do I," or "I don't either." Now pay attention to the helping verb. The helping verb here is the helping verb "do," because the main verb is "like," but when we make it negative, we say "I do not like." So the helping verb is "do." Neither do I, or "I don't either." So this is hard because you have to remember what to do and you have to pay attention to what the helping verb is. But native speakers do this very quickly and easily without thinking about it. And we use these all the time in conversation. So you do want to at least be able to understand them and make sure that you answer correctly. So if someone says, I don't have time, what are you going to answer? If you say, me too, the other person is not going to understand because they said a negative sentence, and we don't use me too to answer a negative sentence. I don't have time, me neither, or neither do I, or I don't either. Okay, what happens if you disagree with the sentence? For example, I don't have time. Well, maybe you have time. So in that case, you're not going to agree and say, I don't either, or me neither. You're going to answer, I do. I don't have time. I do. So again, that would mean that you disagree or your information is different. How about an affirmative sentence? I have time. I don't. So again, you're going to use a short answer and just say whatever is true for you if your information is different or if you disagree with what the other person says. So let's try a couple more quick examples and then we will do some practice together. I'm hungry. Me too. Or I'm hungry. I'm not. Or I'm not hungry. Me neither. I'm not hungry. I am. So maybe you go to class and your friend says, I didn't finish the homework. So how about you? Did you finish the homework? I didn't finish the homework. Me neither. Or neither did I. It's past tense, so we have to use did. Or I didn't either. What if your information is different? What if you finished the homework? I didn't finish my homework. I did. Okay, how about an affirmative sentence? I finished the homework. Me too. What if your information is different? Maybe you didn't finish the homework. I finished the homework. I didn't. Okay, let's try some examples and see if you can practice with me. So I'm going to put those forms next to me and you can choose the one that will work for you. I love to travel in the summer. So how are you going to answer? Do you like to travel in the summer? I love to travel in the summer. Me too. What if you don't like to travel in the summer? I love to travel in the summer. I don't. I don't like cold weather. So how about you? Do you like cold weather? If you agree with me that you don't like cold weather, then you can answer like this. I don't like cold weather. Me neither. Or, I don't like cold weather. Neither do I. I don't like cold weather. I don't either. I don't play baseball. Okay, do you play baseball? If you agree with me that you also don't play baseball, then you're going to answer with your negative short answers. I don't play baseball. Me neither. I don't play baseball. Neither do I. I don't play baseball. I don't either. I enjoy watching movies in English. So, do you enjoy watching movies in English? If you enjoy watching movies in English, then you're going to answer with the affirmative sentences to agree. I enjoy watching movies in English. Me too. Or, so do I. Or, I do too. Again, you're going to use the helping verb do because the main verb is enjoy. All right, let's do two more. I live in California. Do you live in California? So if you live in California, you're going to agree with me. I live in California. Me too. Or so do I. Or I do too. Or if you don't live in California, then you're going to disagree with a short answer with the helping verb. I live in California. I don't. Finally, I don't speak Chinese. Do you speak Chinese? If you agree with me that you don't speak Chinese, then you're going to say, me neither, or neither do I, or I don't either. However, if you speak Chinese, then you're going to answer with the short answer to show that your information is different. I don't speak Chinese. I do. So I'm going to write some questions in the description box below, and you can answer them in the comments to try to practice this. It is a little bit tricky, but first of all, start with me too and me neither. Just learn those. How do you use me too and how do you use me neither? Then go to the other forms and make sure that you can understand them. If someone answers, so do I, or neither do I, or I do too, or I don't either, what do those mean? So try to remember which ones mean the same as me too, and which ones mean the same as me neither. That will help you in conversation because you need to understand those so that you understand what people say. And finally, when you improve, you can try to use all of those forms in your own speaking. So if you have questions, let me know, and remember that it really helps me to grow my channel if you can recommend this to a friend or subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Thank you so much, and see you next time.